So, we said that a list, the words in our passage were themselves could be exploded as lists of letters, but the words also combine to form, for example, sentences. So, we also have lists of words which are not the entire passage, it is a sentence, right.
So, sentence is a very interesting construct, because when we did the thing, we assumed that all the words are in one sequence, and then we had to, if we had to find out whether you are in one sentence, you are going across sentence, we used to use the full stop.
Correct, we looked at the punctuation on that word, that if we find a word with a full stop, then
and we are doing it again and again, like many times you have to do things with sentences again and again and again.
Yeah.
You have to look for that full stop, look for that full stop, mistake can be made like that. It is not a very good idea. No?
Yeah. So, it will be good to then actually group the sentences together as a unit. Yeah. So, and that is a list of words, right, the first word, second word.
So, what you are saying basically is that this entire deck paragraph, paragraph is a list of sentences.
Yes. And the sentence
is a
list of words.
And the word
is a list of letters. So, we have a list inside a list inside a list inside a list.
So, earlier we had this thing called list of pairs, which was a list of lists.
Yeah.
We had a list of triples, which is a list of lists, but the pairs were very,
yeah, they were just numbers for us,
and it was also very fixed
yeah.
two element things.
Yeah.
Whereas here it is not like that. You have a list.
Yeah, there could be a long
paragraph,
sentence,
long sentence, could have short sentence.
Yeah, or a word which
long
is a long word.
Small. Yeah, so you have basically now a list of sentences.
Yeah, so I can say that a
paragraph equal to a list of sentences, right? List of sentences, and each sentence can be of any size. It's not 2, 3 and all. Okay. Sentence can have any number of words.
Yeah.
Any list it is basically.
And
paragraph is a list of sentences, and it can have any number of sentences.
Yeah.
And each sentence is a list of words, any number of words, right?
Yeah. And now each
but
word,
at least one, I mean, sentence should have at least 2 words, no? I mean, there are some strange books they write with 1 word, but generally you will have at least a few words. Okay, anyway, some words.
Yeah, and a word
we
will
can
be,
word will be a list of letters. That can have 1 letter.
Yeah, it could have 1 letter, but it
can't be empty, but yeah. So, word is a list of letters, at least 1. Sentence is a list of words, at least 2, 3 something, okay, some number. Paragraph is a list of sentences,
yeah,
can be 1 sentence, long sentence, 1 paragraph, okay. Can be just single sentence, but at least 1. Okay. So, now what is the paragraph? Basically is a list of lists.
Yeah, correct.
List of lists.
For example, we could maybe try the first sentence, which is not a very long one.
Okay. So, it was Monday morning.
Okay. So, the first sentence is it was Monday morning. And I will write the full stop there because it is there in the word.
Yeah.
And now what we want to say is that this is actually,
you can explode it.
Yeah.
Explode the words in it. Yeah.
It was. So, we can make each word into a list of letters. Of course, for morning, in this case, we will.
We are not considering that full stop as a letter.
Yeah, it is not a letter, so we will leave it out.
Yeah.
So, now this is my sentence, and now my paragraph will have, it will be a list of these things. So, there will be a list there, this is the first sentence.
My goodness. And then there are others, okay.
And then there will be the next sentence and so on.
Okay.
So, this is what actually we are saying. So, we have a list
so if I want
sentences,
to check,
which is a list of words, which is a list of letters.
So, typically a sentence, every sentence has to start with a capital letter word. Word as first word of, first letter of the first word of every sentence. Yeah. First, what is it? First letter of first word of every sentence has to be a capital letter.
So, yeah.
How do I check that?
Right. So, all sentences start with capital letters. So, at the top level we can say for each sentence, let me call it S, in my paragraph.
Okay, which is a list. It's a list of lists.
Yeah.
Okay.
So let me say S list maybe just to remember.
Okay.
So my paragraph list is a list of sentences. My sentence list is a list of words.
Right? So when you take an element of the paragraph list, that itself is a list.
Yeah. So now what I want is the first word.
First word is
will be first of
SL.
FSL.
Huh? First of SL.
And now we want
that should be that you want to first word is itself a list.
Yeah. So I want the first character to be first of this first word.
Okay, all right.
So I can keep doing first, and I mean, see, normally you can't do this, right? So normally I say first of say that pair marks and ID and marks, I'll get an ID. It doesn't make sense to say now what is first of ID, because it's not a something which has a first. Whereas
so
now
first only works if it's a list, huh?
Yeah. So now I have something. I take the first of the paragraph list out, or I take any list sentence out. It has a first, which is a word. That word has a first, which is a letter. And now I want to somehow check.
Is it a capital? Is first car capital? Huh? Okay.
Right. So I want to do this for every sentence, which I'm thinking of as a list of words.
That you are doing for each.
Yeah.
Huh?
So that's one thing that we can do. So we have now a different type of. I mean, it's a kind of nested iteration, but we are picking out a list from a bigger sequence, and then we are doing something within that list. So here we are not iterating because we only need the first letter, but if we wanted to count, for example, the number of words starting with something, then I would go through every word in that sentence and check whether it starts with, say, an A, and then maintain a count. So that would be a nested iteration over the list which I got from the outer iteration.
So here, so this is an example of a list of lists.
Lists of lists.
Okay, whatever. You have nested lists.
Yeah,
you have a lot of lists.
Yeah.
So when you have this, I mean, it might be useful to have some construct which says whether it's a list or not. So you can check, right?
Yeah.
It's list or something, so that you don't apply a first on it.
Yes, correct. Because it would be dangerous, or or just to protect yourself from making a silly mistake. It's like trying to divide by 0 or something.
Correct.
You should not try to do that.
You should not try to. So you should check whether it's a list or not before doing that.
Yeah. So this nesting can go as deep as you need, depending on the structure that you are looking at. Right? So if you want to look at individual letters inside a paragraph, you have to break it up. Well, it's the same way you can check that. Of course, it's not easy to check because we don't have that full stop in our thing, but you might want to check that every sentence actually ends with a full stop. So that would be another good thing to check. Yeah. So this is.
There is a, I mean, we did this CSK lists, right? We did a flat list of.
Correct.
What did we say? We said from this we can extract the customer, shop, and category.
Correct.
And that gives us a lot of information, CSK list. But that was flat.
Correct.
Could we think about this, like a nested list now? I mean, is there a way to nest it?
Well, you could say that of course we have a list of bills, shopping bills, and now the shopping bills may be, depending on how we want to organize it, we want to maybe collect all the bills of one customer. So we have a list of bills of customer
first
1,
customer,
second customer, and so on, and each bill.
So you have a list of customers in some sense.
List of customers, and each customer has a
list of
those
which shops they visited.
And for each shop there will be a list of maybe what category they bought.
The category they bought in that.
Yeah. So that would be, so we could have a customers. So we have a list of customers.
Yeah.
Okay. And each customer will now be a
Shops, list of shops.
Right? And then for each shop that the customer visited,
List of categories.
There will be a list of categories.
So this way, this is a much better way of organizing it, a hierarchical way of organizing it.
Yeah.
So if I want to pick out the first customer, I can pick out the first customer and look at all the.
Just analyze the shopping pattern of that customer.
Yeah. So there are places. It looks like there are places where there is use for
this nested list.
Nested lists,
Yes.
list of lists, or list of lists, right? Something.